Today I'm going to teach you memorandum, and the subject is technical and business writing, and it's lecture number 8. And my name is Muhammad Usman Ali. So let's start it. How to write an effective memo? So let me start it by this way that memo is the short form of the memorandum. So the most of the people use a memo instead of memorandum. Memo is a business-oriented style that is best suited for inter-office or inter-college correspondence. Inter-colleague correspondence. More informal in tone and organization than a letter. Memos are generally used to provide or ask for information, announce a new policy, update on personal transfers, or for any other internal issues. So here is an example. You can see that this is the memorandum, and it has a few features like to, form, date, subject, and body. So let's move to words and the second slide. Uh, Elements of an effective memo. So number one is the grab the reader attention, provides information, makes a recommendation, or asks for action, supports your position or explains benefits to reader, mentions next step and headlines. So these are the points for an effective memo. When composing a memo, always take the 4 steps approach to writing. Plan what you want to say, write a draft, revise the draft, and edit. So here we have 4 type of memo. Number one, 4 types of memo. You might have to write each with its own organizational format. So the definitely organization always provide you the format in which they want to communicate. Uh, so there are 4 types of memo. Number one is the information memo. Number two is the problem solving memo. Number three is the persuasion memo, and number four is internal memo proposal. So let's start with the information memo. Uh, this memo used to deliver or request information or assistance. First paragraph provides main idea. Second paragraph expands on the details. And third paragraph outlines the action required. So after information memo, here comes problem solving memo. Solving memo suggests a specific action to improve a situation. First paragraph states the problem. Second paragraph analyzes the problem. Third paragraph makes a recommendation. When making a recommendation, include not only the positive detail but also the drawbacks and diffuse them yourself. So after problem solving memo, let's move towards the persuasion memo. This memo used to encourage the reader to undertake an action he or she doesn't have to take. First paragraph begins with an agreeable point. Second paragraph introduces the idea. Third paragraph states benefits to the reader. Fourth paragraph outlines the action required. Fifth paragraph ends with a call to action. And here comes the internal memo proposal. Uh, Internal memo proposal used to convey suggestions to senior management. First paragraph states reasons for writing. Second paragraph outlines present situation and states writer's proposal. Third paragraph describes advantages. And the fourth paragraph mentions the diffuses disadvantages. And the last one is the fifth paragraph ends with the call to action. So these are the types of the memos. So let's see the memos parts. More information in appearances and tone than a letter. A memo is set up in a special format. Heading-less tables or graphs are often used to make the information more readable. All memos consist of two sections, the heading and the body. The heading indicates who is writing to whom, when and why. The heading should include the following parts. Number one is the to whom you are going to write. Number two is the from. And number three is the date. Number four is the subject. Like it can be a subject or it can be a resubject. Like if you want to continue the same subject, then you use a resubject. You use the CC, carbon copy, and sixth one is the body. So let's start with the to portion. Uh, in to, list the name of everyone who will receive the memo. Include the first and last name and title or department of the recipient for formal memos. Memos to superiors, or if everyone on the list does not know each other. If all recipients know each other's name and positions, use just the first initial and last name of each recipient. It can be listed alphabetically or by rank. If it's not possible to fit all the names into area, use the phrase "see distribution list." At the end of the memo, add the word distribution and then list the names of the people who will receive the copy of the memo. Arrange the names by rank, department, or alphabetically. So after 2, it comes from list the name of the writers in the same way as the name of the recipient. There is no complementary clause or signature line, but authors initial their name on the from line. So here comes the date. It lists the month, date, and year the memo was written. Do not use the abbreviations. Avoid using numbers for month and days. Re or subject indicates the main subject of the letter should be as specific and as concise as possible. CC or C lists those readers who should have a copy of the memo for the information or reference, but are not expected to carry out the same action as the recipients listed in the to line. CC can also be placed at the end of the memo below the distribution list if you are using the distribution list, then you can use. So here comes the body part. The body of the memo conveys the message and generally consists of four parts. So number one is the introduction. State the general problem or main idea. Number two, statement of facts. State the fact or discuss the problem or issue. Number three is the argument. An argument explains importance or relevance of facts. And the last one is the conclusion. Summarizes the main idea, suggests or requests action memo, do not have a complimentary clause or signature line memos end with a call to action. So here is the detail of the memo. So let me share a few working tips with you. Please keep in your mind these tips whenever you will go to write a memo. So number one is this: keep the readers in mind as you write and make the memo as conventional as possible. Number two, keep it short and focused. It's often more effective to write a series of short memos with one topic per memo rather than one long one. Protector and Gamble, for example, consider one-page memos the norm. Number three, the topic should be evident in the subject line and be immediately addressed in the first paragraph. Number four, present the main idea of your memo or make your request before spending time on the explanation. If background detail is necessary, state the key point first and then fill in the background. Number five. Number five. Explain references fully enough to avoid confusion. If your organization has many manuals or policies, do not refer to what the manual say or the policy requires. Specify which manual or which specific policy you are referred to. Number six, and the last one. Similarly, don't refer to previous conversations, letters, or phone calls without specifying the date, topic, and guest of the exchange. When you are using email, it is easy to provide this context and avoid confusion by pasting key parts of the previous messages in your reply. However, it's considered poor and a waste of bandwidth to include the entire previous message. Delete any unnecessary or over over overly detailed information as well as any extra comments and formalities. So these are the few tips. Please keep in mind when you will uh, write the memo. So this is all about memo. So please watch it carefully. If you have any questions and queries, please write it down. And please, you may ask in the class if you have any query. So this is for today's lecture.